Once we arrived at the site of the attack, Devin began to tell his story.
I just got a little glimpse of his face.
How close was he?
About to me and you. He was coming out the water, and when he came out the water, he bumped me. That's when I hit it. It was swimming out in the middle.
So he was just dragging you out there?
Yeah, but underwater. He never let me up for air. I thought he hardly had my arm in his mouth. I didn't know he had it all the way in. So I just felt like a little squeeze, and it was gone. I think if you're in shock, you don't really feel it. I think that's what happens when you're in shock. I started swallowing a lot of water, though. He pushed his claw to my chest. He just pushed off, and it ripped my arm. And I just floated to the top, got out the water, and ran.
Deputy Ben Godwin and Corporal Gordon Summerlin were just a mile away when they heard a radio call and were first on the scene.
His arm was missing. There wasn't hardly any blood until I picked him up. Once I picked him up, he started bleeding pretty bad.
Officials were immediately called in to track down the gator, and they filmed the hunt. But it wasn't just a random rogue predator. It was a local personality. The enormous gator had lived in these waters for roughly 40 years. He was so familiar to locals, he had a name, Big Joe. In all that time, there had been no report of Big Joe attacking anyone.
The alligator was finally spotted in the lake. Howard got all of his gear of getting the alligator close enough to us and trying to take the alligator so we could remove the arm for the family and to try to save the child's arm.
After a 90-minute chase, the gator was dragged to shore. Big Joe was dead.
Howard used my knife and cut him open and started digging for the arm to try to remove it. At first, we didn't think we were going to get it. And then that's when Howard said, "I found it. It's down deep in the bowels." Pulled the arm out, handed it up to the EMS service that were waiting, and we did everything we could and within our powers to get that arm back to that child in hopes of actually having them reattach it.